Our next speaker tonight is Gregg Ferguson, who's a principal of Placeworks, a Calgary architectural design studio that holds strong relationships and collaborations with clients and builders, along with site and its inherent opportunities as their inspiration. His passion and fascination for the good that is found in the arts, culture, and public realm comes from his 14-plus years of involvement in the non-profit leadership, including 6 years as board chair for the Calgary Folk Music Festival, whose festival hall opens soon in Inglewood. And Gregg's actually still on the board. I sit on that board with him, so he's still leading us in that capacity as well. So please welcome Gregg Ferguson.
Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Kata. I kind of feel like I have the keys to the nuclear launches here. I'm going to try and channel both Will Knoll and probably Chad Saunders to get through this, so here we go. This won't be the usual presentation from a designer about their work. Instead, I'm going to discuss how our design is larger, more inclusive, our oneness, and better for it. I'll also propose that designers are responsible to actively engage to work better in the community. Just doing good design work is not enough. My life blurs the lines between career, volunteer roles, and the personal into a greater thing, my own one. 10-plus years as chair and director of the Folk Fest and leadership in several other organizations have helped Placeworks as well. Each seems to gain strength from the other. I like to think that this has also a small but positive impact on life in Calgary. Placeworks started in '98 and has worked over 86 projects across the West. My partner Richard Nolan and I have been exploring practice together for over 8 years, something that I'm incredibly grateful for. Our one is inclusive. We create and design in open collaboration, making our team larger whenever possible, and for it, richer. The design collaboration includes our clients, but also builders, trades, neighbors, and community, and regulatory folks as well, and often other firms like our own. Placeworks' perception of context is bigger and more inclusive too, and validates our volunteer engagement in the community, like heading the festival's building committee, in effect being a client for a change for Cardew Architects. How can you not be affected by the range of influences that surround a project and be excited about where their pull might take you? It's a richer milieu, and if considered and responded to, should help us make far more relevant and appropriate work. The people or organizations that we design for, such as Alpine Canada, don't have to fit into our kind of self-referential masterpieces. Our work is just an interpretation of their needs, shaped by sight and by greater context. We're comfortable with this. Our own expression is always there, but it's not overpowering. We listen to and then collaborate with all that is the context. As the boundaries of our activities became less defined in recent years, and as we got busier, we've also consciously become a little bit pickier about who our clients are and how we pick them. So much time in a project is spent with these clients and considering and responding to their needs that more and more we're looking for interesting and challenging and fun wherever we can. We look at our own team in the same way, as we spend probably as much time with each other as with our families. It's all about good people and real and authentic chemistry. Placeworks looks for opportunity to collaborate just as intently and sometimes finds it in some incredibly odd places. As happened when we conducted a feasibility study for Pump House a few years ago, you must sometimes drag players gently into the fold, as we did with many city departments who independently had interest in or intention in the overall site, often without knowledge of each other. In the end, it was a study more about the needs of West Downtown, Sonalta, an environmentally nasty decommissioned industrial site, transportation, CP rail, transit, and bike path users especially, as it was about Pump House and the local theater community's needs. New projects often mean treading into the unknown without fully understanding the nature or intentions or even who all the people are that we're going to work with. We don't often get to choose who these players are, and although there can be some pretty nervous moments, we're still interested in working as part of that larger one. This Northwest side-by-side project on a park was for two couples who had previously met as neighbors. One individual was a marketing specialist for a traditional builder who actually ended up building the house, whose partner owned a contemporary home furnishing store, while the other couple were intensely interested in modernism and marathons. It was a very rich, challenging, and incredibly rewarding project. The next project is just finishing up in Rosedale, and I heard someone say that earlier, and has benefited from a pretty organic collaborative process. The builder was unknown and, to be honest, pretty suspect to us, yet brought a gifted group of personnel and incredible subtrades to the project. In return, we brought a strong building envelope engineer who taught and guided the builder, and our interior designer to help lead our clients, which was weird because they were both project engineers themselves. Other collaborations are long-term and are as much works in progress as their associated projects. Such is the case on 4 separate projects over the years with our Swedish geologist, client, and friend, who has taught us more, it seems, than some semesters at architecture school ever did. Other clients are making a difference too, engaging in civic and cultural activity, making huge impacts upon Calgary. It's here I think there's a lesson for all of us here. As designers, architects, planners, and artists, we often feel that our direct work is enough to make a big difference. I'm increasingly unsure that it actually is. We owe it to ourselves and our communities to engage further and apply our skills in other fashions toward public benefit. For me, I continue to gain tremendously from this engagement, personally in work as it spills into our practice. I also feel that there is much that we have gained from meaningful collaboration and will continue to embrace those possibilities. So, when our paragliding Swedish client challenged us to design a $100,000 off-the-grid 4-season cottage to be set in the Rocky Mountain Trench, wide and meaningful collaboration is and will be the only way we find a solution to that one. Yeah, it's a busy life, as my friends and family will attest, but on most days it's a lot of fun. There's also a feeling of great satisfaction that we are making a difference to our larger and more inclusive one, of which we're just a part of, Calgary and our greater community. So in a city and time of increasing civic engagement by individuals who formerly were on the sideline of a game they didn't even know was going on, please become part of this larger one and make yourself and the community a better place. I'll finish acknowledging the rest of the usual team at Placeworks, 2 of whom are currently further exploring and expanding their own idea of what constitutes the one while on mat leave. From the start at Placeworks, we built a practice that is supportive of family, civic, and personal life, and I think in small ways, one that helps make Calgary, our greater one, a better place. Thank you very much and have a good evening.